it's me, Nikki, and I am here today with our homeschool read aloud list, or all the books. I'm going to show you all the books for the 2019-2020 school year. It'll take us from actually next week, because we just finished Little House in Plum Creek, and it'll take us all the way, I want to say, through June of next year. So I had gotten this little calendar. If you saw my Dollar Tree haul, I got this little calendar. I was going to put field trips on it, and I decided to put our read alouds on it, and what we're going to do with that. So I have that, and so I'm going to get started and show you, because it's actually quite a few books. So these are all the books that we are going to read out loud for our homeschool year. These don't include the books that Melody's going to read. These don't include the books that Elizabeth's going to read or Riley's going to read. These don't include any of the picture books, because I have a million of those, and each month we just do a basket of those that we have that we can go through, and I'll show you my basket system later in the month for our books. But this is the chapter books that we're going to read. So we will get started with this stack right here. So you can see I put a little sticky on each one that tells me the date and how many chapters I'm going to read that day. And then I have this calendar, and it has the start, it has it all on here. It's actually in this little, like it pulls out, and it's a magnet, and so I'll just stick that to the side of the refrigerator, and then we can mark off. My 8-year-old loves to keep track of things like this, so I'll let her keep track of the chapters that we read each day. So that's what I'm going to use that for. So I just used a little sticky notes, my pen, and I walked through all of these with the calendar and counted them out and counted out how many chapters, depending on the chapter size, like depending on how many chapters there were in the book, and then how long each chapter was. Some of them you'll see that we have, like, we're reading like 4 chapters a day, but they're super short chapters, like 2 pages long. So my kids aren't going to go for 2 pages, really. They won't love that. So our first book of the year is Island of the Blue Dolphins. This is a beautiful story. And actually, I think almost all of these I've read out loud already to my older children, Melody, Alex, and Tyler. Alex and Tyler are now graduated. Melody will probably be doing her own work or working with Dad or whatever during this time. This is all the stuff that I'm reading to my 4th grader, my 2nd grader, my kindergartner, and of course my toddler will be there listening as well. So we're going to read The Island of Blue Dolphins. This is one of my favorite books. It's a very sweet story. It'll make you laugh. It'll make you cry. This is a great book. If you've never read this book, you need to. And you need to read it to your children, because they'll love it too. So we are going through the Little House series, but what I found is that we can't just read Little House books, because my children, although they love them, I don't know if my children get tired of them, or I kind of get tired of them. I want to move on to another story. So I kind of sprinkled the Little House books through this school year. We've already read the, let's see, Little House on the Prairie, Farmer Boy, Little House in the Big Woods, and Little House in Plum Creek. So in August, we're going to read By the Shores of Silver Lake, and actually Elizabeth's super excited about this one. She has been faithfully watching all summer long the Little House series on Amazon Prime, and she's loving it. I loved watching them when I was little too, so she's loving them. So we're going to read this one. This one will take us 2 chapters a day for a couple of weeks. So I am also throwing in, I don't just have classics and award winners and everything. I threw in just some fun ones too. This one is the graphic novel, what is it called? The junior novel of Finding Dory, and I thought, actually, if anything, this is going to keep my kindergartner's attention. This is one of his all-time favorite movies. This is only going to take us a week to read, you know, no time at all. But he's going to love that, and he's going to love that I threw in books that he's going to like. Pippi Longstocking. I think my 2 girls are gonna love Pippi Longstocking. I loved Pippi Longstocking. Melody loved Pippi Longstocking. She's silly and fun and sweet, and so if you need to read this one to your kids too. They are gonna love it. This one requires a lot of laughter. This is a great book, it's Charlie and the Chocolate Factory. You can tell mine is well worn. I think I bought it used about 100 years ago. So again, another great one. A lot of these, if there is a movie that goes with them, after we read it, then we'll watch the movie. That's our general policy. So we'll read 3 chapters a day of Charlie and the Chocolate Factory, and I know they're gonna like this one. Secret Garden. Oh, I love this story. Love the movie. It's so good to me. So good. And so, yeah, this is going to be a great one. I think the girls are really going to like this one. This one's got some illustrations through it, so that's nice. And again, I think that they're going to love the movie afterwards. This was The Voyages of Dr. Dolittle. I actually don't have the very first Dr. Dolittle, which I think is just the original Dr. Dolittle. I don't remember what it's called. Let's see. It is called The Story of Dr. Dolittle. So there's all these Dr. Dolittle ones. I don't know if you know that or not, but now you do. And we have read the original Dr. Dolittle one. We just rented it or borrowed it from the library. So this one is one of the ones that's 4 chapters a day. And it's going to take us like 3 weeks. But each chapter is super short, and but it is a relatively long book. So it is going to take us a good full 2 weeks to do it. Mr. Popper's Penguins. This is a great book. My kids have seen the movie already, but we'll of course watch the movie again afterwards. This is a great story. It's funny and heartwarming, and your kids are gonna love this one. Back to Little House. We're gonna read The Long Winter, and I put The Long Winter in the middle of November. So I started out with the Popper's Penguins, and that one's cold, and then we go into the long winter. I try to do that as much as possible. And then we have A Christmas Carol. Not a very long version, obviously. It's but a classic, and the children are gonna love it, and right around Christmas, and so that's gonna be a great one. So next we're on to this stack right here. This is actually the original World of Pooh, and so by E.H. Shepard, and so I thought that this would be a fun one during like a Christmas break type thing, just to snuggle up in the warm with hot cocoa, and it's got just all the Pooh Bear stuff. I love Pooh. We are huge Winnie the Pooh fans around here, and I figured after we read this one, we will watch the new Christopher Robin movie. So then in December also, I have the Jungle Book. This is a really short version of the Jungle Book. It'll take us a couple days, and I have it over Christmas, but we probably won't be doing a read aloud on Christmas. And so but honestly, it's got like 4 chapters in the book. So it's only going to take us, honestly, if the kids want to just sit down and read it, it'll probably take us 1 day. Why can't I do this? Yeah, see, 4 chapters. So we could probably read it in 1 day. But I did want to throw it in there and have a book that week that we could be reading. Oh, my toes are in there. And then we're going to read, I know this is a funny one. This is Who Was Lucille Ball? My children love Lucille Ball. They watch all of the I Love Lucy's. They love the Long Long Trailer and Yours, Mine, and Ours. And so I thought that they would get a kick out of this, especially Elizabeth. I think she's really going to get a kick out of this book and who Lucille Ball really was. And now we are back to Little House, but now it is the little town on the prairie in January. So again, of course, my daughters just love Little House, so they're gonna love keeping going with that one. I think Jackson's gonna love James and the Giant Peach. The little children haven't seen James and the Giant Peach yet, so again, we'll watch this movie after we read the book. And so this is just a great classic story. It's super fun, heartwarming, and lovely. I love this book. Huckleberry Finn, this is kind of the kid version of Huckleberry Finn. It is still relatively long, but again, I thought that Jackson would really like it, and my girls love adventure, so who better to have adventure with than Huckleberry Finn? The last stack is this stack, and so then we have the Happy Golden Years, and I think, no, there's only 2 more, so we have the Happy Golden Years, winding down this series, and so they're gonna like this one. I think when we're done with this series, probably next spring, or between this one and the very last one, which is the first 4 years, I think we're gonna go see one of her houses that's closer by. It's like 2 hours away from here. Another just kind of fun, silly one is the Muppets Most Wanted junior novel. Again, it's one that they've seen, it's one that they love, it's one that won't take us any amount of time to read. It's got the fun pictures from the movie in it, and so they'll like that. Again, my girls love this movie, just love this movie. So when I saw this book at the used bookstore a while back, I knew I had to get it. This is a story about a dolphin who has a prosthetic tail. And so again, it's got pictures from the movie. It's a great story. It is based on, this book is based on the movie, but the movie obviously is based on a true story. And so this is a great one too. And then the final Little House book, which is the first 4 years, where Laura is a mama. And so this is a very, very short book. And so, like I said, either right before this one or right after this one, we're going to go up and see one of her houses that's in Missouri. And then we have Stuart Little. This one's a great one for Jackson. All the little kids will like this one, but I do think that Jackson will especially like this one. And again, we have the movie, and so I like this one. Look, it's got the colored pictures in it. Oh, Alex loved this book. He literally, I think we read it 3 times when he was growing up, because he would always go back to it and just beg, Mama, please, let's read Stuart Little again. He loved this one. The next one is Anne of Green Gables. Again, I think my girls are gonna love it, and then we can watch Anne of Green Gables afterwards. And just another great classic story for all of us to read. A fun one is Megamind, the novel. Again, super silly, but you know, I'm keeping I'm keeping it open with all of the different styles of books. That way they can get a different feel of what they enjoy, what types of books they enjoy. Holes, this is a great book. This is a great movie. Loved the movie. The book is even better. And my boys loved this book. Melody wasn't as thrilled with it, so I'm not 100% sure I'm going to hold Riley through this one, but I know that Elizabeth and Jackson are really going to like it. And then the final one that I picked for in June is Where the Red Fern Grows. It takes place in Oklahoma. It's, you know, it's a big, this book will make you cry, like cry, need a box of tissues, cry. And so I put it down at the end of the year for June. There's a couple in here that will bring you to tears. And I'm going to see and gauge how especially Riley does with those. She's pretty sensitive when it comes to that kind of stuff. She's actually very sensitive when it comes to that kind of stuff. So I may hold off on this book another year or two if it doesn't seem like I think she's going to be able to handle it. But again, we'll watch the movie afterwards if she does. This is a great book, but it is one that will make you cry. I love that it says, you know, people that loved Incredible Journey and Old Yeller. That's very true. You're going to love this book. If you haven't read it, you're going to love it. Your kids are going to love it. But Alex Alex had a really hard time with this book, and he cried a lot with this book, and I'm afraid that Riley might also. So I'm going to be cautious with this one. We'll see if we get to it. So next summer, I will let you know how these books went, or probably as we go along, I'll let you know how the books are going. And so, yeah. So these are all the read alouds that we are going to read for the 2019-2020, that seems crazy, school year. And go ahead and comment below read alouds that you love reading with your children. Go ahead and give this video a thumbs up. Don't forget to hit the subscribe button and the little bell so you can get notified. And I will see you next time. Bye-bye.